Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kino with STEMwithKino.com, and today we are doing, or we're taking questions for the selection instrument for flight training, which is the United States Army's selection or the test that you need to take if you are interested in becoming or interested in going into United States Army Aviation. I am broadcasting on two channels, one YouTube and one Facebook. If you actually want to see the questions that we cover today, you should follow me on Facebook at STEMwithKino.com. That's STEM with Kino.com. If you put that in the search box, you can click follow. I appreciate it if you hit follow. If you're only watching me on YouTube, then please like and please subscribe and share us on the social media networks. I have some emails. As you know, a lot of people can't attend the live stream, the particular live stream or whatever, and as a result, you can send questions and still get them answered, and then you can come back and look at the video for the particular question that you've sent. I am Kino, again, from STEMwithKino.com, and I'm just setting up some pages here. And we'll jump in a moment here. I will put the link. I'm dropping a link right now. If you'd like to follow us on Facebook, all my YouTube people out there. Okay, so that link was just dropped. And all right, so let's move you over, then move you over, and I'm getting better at this, juggling two channels at the same time. It's a little bit of a task, but we'll still get it done. Okay, my post page here, or anything else I'm missing? I'm trying to think of, we got you, and you. So the whole thing with this is organized Windows, which we have this down. All right, let's go. Just be a minute here, guys. Just making sure, getting everything out here. Okay, so going to the email right now, and I'd like to thank everybody for looking at this video. Again, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and please follow. And please follow and like my page on Facebook, stemwithkino.com. All right. So, even if you are preparing for the ASVAB, ASVAB-QT, ASTBE, or the OAR, you can still present math and mechanical comprehension questions. All right, I just received a little notification here. And, okay. All right, so what are we doing here? Basically, if you have answers in your test book that you don't understand, you can present them here. You can put them on a Facebook post page. You can ask a question if you're on a YouTube. A lot of people don't have Facebook for whatever reason, but you can still present questions. But I encourage you to come on board and check out the Facebook, because the questions will always be posted, the ones that we work out, so you can follow along and see a lot of my reasoning for selecting particular questions. Sorry. And again, I'm sifting through these questions because I don't want to answer questions that have already been asked. So give me a moment to... All right. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the purpose of the tail rotor. The tail rotor, and let me tail rotor. There's some images, and I'm going to drop an image of a tail rotor, and we're going to talk about its purpose. The purpose of the tail rotor is to counteract the main torque from the tail rotor. Sorry about that. Some notifications kind of shocked me. Well, not shocked me, but I was like, what? Okay, so on the post page on stemwithkino.com on Facebook, you'll see the tail rotor. And the purpose of the tail rotor is to counteract the torque from the main rotor. Now, there's a couple instances where you will not need a tail rotor. All right, and if you follow along, we could have a coaxial helicopter. All right, so the coaxial system, you'll actually have counter-rotating rotors, which means they balance out. You don't need a tail rotor in that situation. And I am dropping an image. This image is from Wikipedia. Making sure I'm giving everybody credit for their work. All right. Another situation where you would not have a tail rotor is a helicopter NOTAR system. NOTAR is short for no tail rotor. And I'm dropping an image there on the post page of stemwithkino.com. the image there. Notar, coaxial, well, you could also have like the Chinook, which is the CH-47 Delta. Well, CH-47, 3A, B, C, D. In that case, like the presidential helicopter, they ride Chinooks a lot. CH-47 helicopter. So this is not a coaxial, meaning that you have counter-rotating rotors on the same axis or axle, but they're position one front and one back, and mechanically the rotors, as they're rotating, they kind of avoid each other, and that's like a gear system. That kind of gets them to not hit each other. Right. So that's being dropped. So you don't always need a tail rotor. All depends on the design of the helicopter. All right, we're getting, check the email. All right. Okay, this is practice test 4 again, and let's back up a little bit here. Okay, on the United States Army SIFT, there's going to be math problems. And sometimes they're going to be like life situation type problems. You know, I go to the store, the bank goes to the store to spend blah, blah, blah. How much change is he going to have left over? In this case, and I want to make sure this is practice test 4. Because I know you sent them to me, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so clipping the question out, and I gotta kind of do this kind of weird because it's split on the actual in the text. Maybe no, they won't let me do that. All right, so I have a way to get it all together here. Bear with me, folks. So that is the first one. All right, the first part. And then let me come back and hit the second part. We'll get underway here. Get this all wrapped up in one nice little bundle. So it's gonna look a little weird on the post page, but here we go. I have it all captured, and we are dropping it. Okay, so Miss Jackson takes let's refresh the page. Mr. Jackson takes his wife and 2 children to the circus. If the price of a child's ticket is half the price of an adult ticket, and Mr. Jackson pays a total of $12.60, they want to know the price of the child's ticket. Okay, so line by line and diagram. Mr. Jackson takes his wife and 2 children to the circus. So, we have 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children. The price of a child's ticket is half the price of an adult ticket. So we could say X is the unknown price, and we'll have 2X for 2 adults. And then each child will be X over 2. And the final price is $12.60. All right. Now I want to give you guys an opportunity to try to answer this. We have it laid out, and we know that $12.60 is what we finally paid. All right, so $12.60, and if you think about it, if we have 2X, which represents the unknown price for 2 adult tickets, and we have X over 2, this is like an extra adult, like 3 adults. So why don't we say $12.60 divided by 3, and what will it up? So 3 adults. You're typically planning for 3 adults, because 2 adults and then 2 children, which is half, which would equal 1 adult. So we would come out with a price of $4.20 per adult ticket. So we cut that in half. Half of 4 is 2. Half of 20 is 10. So $2.10. That's what they've asked for. Type 1 if you understood that. Okay. Mr. Jackson takes his wife and 2 children out. The adult tickets are, or the children's tickets are half the adult price. So we just basically said 3X equals $12.60, $4.20 when we broke it down by dividing by 3. And then if that's the kids, the child's price is half that. And type 1 if you got it. All right. Okay, and we'll move forward. Okay, number 26. Let me clip this and drop it on the Facebook post. Okay, number 14. All right. I'm kind of locked in, Mike, but I will come back to 14. See, I'll pay attention. I see you guys. Okay, the next one is posted on the Facebook timeline. The water level of a swimming pool, 75 feet by 42 feet, is to be raised 4 inches. How many gallons of water are needed? All right. So, the water level of a swimming pool, comma. It's kind of weird, but okay. This pool is 75 feet by 42 feet. So from a top view, this is what it would look like. 75 feet by 42 feet. Nice sized pool. How many gallons of water are needed if we're going to raise the water level 4 inches. And they give us that 7.5 gallons is equal to 1 cubic foot. All right, so the first thing we need to think about is the setup here. Now, you got to think about this. We got to take, if we're going to raise the water level 1 foot, 4 inches, right? Let's look at the pool from a side view, like you're sitting in your lawn chair and you're kind of looking at the pool, looks like that. That means that we're going to have to raise it. This is the, let's call this the 4-inch mark. So this volume of water is going to be 4 inches by 75 by 42. All right. So it's like a little, if you think of it in a 3-dimensional term, 4 inches by 42 by 75. Now, what is, what am I looking for? 4 inches. We got to think about that. It's 1/3 of a foot. All right. So we got to think about that volume. If we raise that water level 4 inches, it's going to be 42 by 75 by 4 inches, but 4 inches is 1/3 of a foot. All right. So 42 times 75 times 1/3. And that's the basic math of it. That's the basic setup. And I'd like one of you guys, anybody can type it on the line what they feel the answer is. But basically it is 75 feet by 42 feet times, that's the 4-inch section, 1 foot. Tell me how many cubic feet. And we get there just by getting the cubic feet. That is not telling us how many gallons, because they're asking us how many gallons you want. So what you guys, when we multiply 75 by 42 by 1/3, I want to know what you guys get in cubic feet. Now wait a moment. Okay, nobody yet? Okay. You guys want me to do all the work. All right. Nobody got an answer yet. All right, so 42 times 75. Put 75 under here. 10. Carry the 1. 21, 0. 14. 129. 0, 5, 11, 3, 1, 5, 0, 3, 1, 5, 0 over 1 times 1/3. It's basically dividing 3150 by 3, 1, 3, 0, carry 1. 5, 0, 1050 cubic feet, 1,050 cubic feet. Still doesn't give us gallons yet. Now they give us a standard. They tell us in the question that 1 gallon is equal to 7.5 gallons is equal to 1 cubic foot. So 7.5 gallons is 1 cubic foot. So if we have 1050 cubic feet, basically it's going to be 1050 divided by 7.5. gallons of water I needed. And I think I put the 7.5 in the wrong. 7.5 number of gallons. And my, yeah, 1050 times 7.5. Yeah, times 7.5. And that should give us alpha 7,875. Answer A. So this times this divided by this, which is really, if you multiply this times this and divide by 1, it's the number. So answer is alpha 7,875. All right. Let me see. Okay, number 14. I've done this question so many times. I'm not going to do it because it's in a previous. We want to avoid questions that we've done before in other live streams. We want to always bring new information. But last week I did this, and matter of fact, I think I did this on a on a YouTube video. So, although I appreciate your, you guys wanting to have questions. We don't want to be repeating the same stuff like, oh, you did that question last week. You did that question last week. All right. And if you still don't get it or understand it, we can talk about it on a one-on-one. You're one of my guys, all right? So, all right. Moving right along. All right, posted a new question on the Facebook timeline. Okay, that is posted. Okay, guys, here we go. Jack sells appliances and receives a salary of $300 per week, plus 5% commission on all sales over $750. How much does he earn in a week in which his sales amount to $2,400? Sells appliances, receives a salary of $300 per week. So he's automatically paid $300 per week. And then a 5% commission on all sales over $750. So if his sales are $2,400, then I believe he's going to get 5% of that. All right, so $2,400 We got to subtract 750. So once he starts, selling $10, $20 here, $100 here, boom, 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 boom. When his sales exceed 750, he's going to get 5% of that commission. So guys, help me out here. $2,400 minus 750, because it's all everything after 750 that he's going to get. He's going to get the commission bonus. So 2,400 minus 750. Somebody. $1,650. Thank you, Mike. Now, we take that $1,650. Now that's what we're getting a 5% commission on. So we multiply by 0.05. 0.05. That represents 5%. 0.05. Don't say 0.5 because that's 50%. 0.05 is 5%. So 1,650 times 0.05. 0, 25, carry 2, 32, carry 3, 5, 8. And the 0 line is just a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Boom, 8, 2, 5, 0. We have 2 decimal points to account for. So $82.50 is the commission. So he will get $300 plus $82.50. Which is a total of $382.50. So that's what his check will be, 5% commission. And you guys need to be very familiar with like percentages and stuff like that, because a lot of people, they hate them. They hate percentages and decimals and stuff like that. But look, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. All right. Let's see, 5, 2. All right. A slow start, but once we get rolling and I get everything set up, so that might be a little bit of a time management thing on my part, which I am always striving to improve. But I think this gets easier to me as I do this every week, so that's why I was like, at first I was like, man, I just want to do this in Google Hangout, but I'm getting used to this. Okay. Question number 52, if you follow me on Facebook, it's on the post page. A clerk divided his 35-hour work week as follows: a fifth of the time sorting mail, half of his time filing letters, and 1/7 of his time in reception work. The rest of the time was devoted to messenger work. The percentage of time spent on messenger work by the clerk during the week was most nearly what? So when we look at this, we have a 35-hour work week. Now, there's a really cool rapid math trick you can do when you're working with percentages, okay? So we have 35 hours in this work week. All right, so we have one category. I'm just going to put SM, which is sorting mail. 1/7. We're going to put RW for reception work. And the rest of the time was divided to messenger work. And they want to know the percentage of time of messenger work. The percentage of time on messenger work by the clerk during the week was most nearly what? Our answers are 6%, 10%, 14%, 16%. So, as I look at this, what we got here are fractions: 1/5 sorting mail, 1/7 reception work. We forgot filing letters. It's half of this time. Okay, so don't be scared of the fractions. The denominator is just basically what we're going to divide by. All right, that's it. It's just what we're going to divide by. Because if we have 35 over 1 and then 1/2, we're just going to wind up dividing by 2. 35 times 1 is 35, and 1 times 2 is 2. So we're just basically going to be divided. So I think this is 17.5. but let me just do it the right way. So easy to two goes in one time. Two drops, 1, 5, 7, decimal, 0, 2, 7, 14, 1, 0, 10. All right, so I was right. 17.5. So 17.5 hours is going to be filing letters. Again, this is what we're going to divide by. So this is just 7 hours, and this is 5 hours. Because 35 divided by 5 is 7. 35 divided by 7 is 5. So that's how you can rapidly, excuse me, figure out, how much time went where. All right. Give me a 1 if we're okay and you guys understand what we've done so far. We've isolated how much time went to filing letters, sorting mail, I think it was, and reception work. Because the rest of the time after we subtract this is going to be, all right, so right. So somebody total up these hours for me, please. $29 and a half. I could see it. 17, 24, 29 and a half. All right, so 29 and 1/2 hours are dedicated to these other tasks. And the other one is messenger work, I guess. All right, so there's 29 over 35. All right. Now, we have a little proportion going on. I would just say X over 100. That would give you the percent that is used up. All right, and our answers are they're pretty spaced pretty far enough apart. 6, 10%, 14%, 16%. So I would just do 29. 29 times 100, because you're only going to be like a half off. And the answers are spaced far enough apart that you can do that. So you go 29 times 100 divided by 35. 29 times 100, because we're doing proportions, divided by 35. Which would give me 82%. And I have to realize that we've made like a slight adjustment because we're estimating. But right off the bat, that's 82%. All right. So the closest answer is delta, because we took some of this out, which means it's probably towards maybe like an 84, 85%. And so if it's 84, 85%, then, it's 15% of the time we spent on messenger work. So answer delta. If everybody got that, just part 1, please. Okay, looks like everybody got that. Have you done 29? On 4 thing we have, I'll look at it. Yeah, we've done that in a previous video. Okay. I just found an interesting distance, rate, and time problem in that packet, and I'd like to talk about that. Okay, let's get this on the page. Posting it on the page. Let's drop it there. Always, distance, rate, and time problems are a gimme. Like, if they give you a distance, rate, and time problem, that's like a gift. Like, seriously. And you want to make sure, most of you guys want to be pilots. So you're going to have to be experts at distance, rate, and time. So, I mean, like, a distance, rate, and time problem is like a gimme. Like, if I was sitting on the test and they gave me distance, rate, and time problem, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna murder this test. So you want to be good at it. I have tons of videos on distance, rate, and time. All right. So we have two ships that are 1,550 miles apart, and they're sailing towards each other. This is what I call a compression. An expansion is the opposite, where you have two people, vehicles, or things moving away from each other. So I call this a compression because you have two vehicles going towards each other, and we have to establish, in most cases, a closure rate, the rate that they are closing in on each other. All right, so these two ships are 1,550 miles apart and sailing towards each other. One sails at a rate of 85 miles per day, and the other sails at 65 miles per day. How far apart will they be at the end of 9 days? Our answers are 100, 150, 175, 200, and 225 miles. Okay, so let's go in. All right, so we have two ships. They are 1,550 miles apart. So ship A and ship B, they're moving in towards each other. One is moving at 85 miles per day. This guy 65 miles per day. All right, so distance equals closure rate times time. There's still a rate. Distance equals closure rate times time. So we're going to calculate the amount of distance they cover at the end of 9 days. All right, so this distance is the unknown because we want to know how far we're going to go. 85 plus 65, which is 150. All right, that is our closure rate. So collectively, they will be covering 150 miles per day. So 150 times 9 days, I would just say 15 times 9 and add the 0. 45, 4, 1, 3, 5, 0. So I can see 200. They will have, in 9 days, they will have covered to get collectively 1,350. The distance that they were originally apart was 1,550, which is a 200-mile difference, answer delta. So when you guys get distance, rate, and time, that's like a gimme. And I pride myself and my people, my students, on distance, rate, and time problems. I'm always hammering them with them. We'll be doing something, and then I'm like, boom, here's a distance, rate, and time. Okay. I'm always, we'll do something, we'll be on a certain area, then boom, here's 4 distance, rate, and time problems, because you want to be able to destroy these problems on the fly, just like, oh, okay, and just cut through it. So, because I have a lot of people that take the test on their own and they come back like, man, they had a lot of distance, rate, and time problems. In my mind, I'm like, well, if you were properly trained, it would just be easy to execute those problems. Okay. This is the SIF channel. So, definitely want to get a couple helicopter questions in. And I'm searching for. And I have one. Very good. All right, and posting. Okay, let me see here. I want to get an image up. Yeah. Primary helicopter controls. All right. Oh, this is a very nice image. And you can actually see the movement and everything. Okay, this is good. I like this. Okay, so I posted the question, and I'm posting an image of the primary helicopter controls. And let me give the guys credit too as well, because this is Quora, Quora, Quora. I guess I'm pronouncing that Quora, maybe Quora. However you want to do that, but yeah, they really have a really nice graphic here that I'm about to post. This is really neat, because not only can you see the actual controls, primary controls, but you can also see the movement. And there's a beautiful graphic in there. So let's come back to the question. All right. So the question is as follows. Okay. The cyclic control system manages which of the following? A, pitch. B, roll axes. Sorry. C, hover capacity. D, all of the above. E, none of the above. So the cyclic control manages what? You can see the cyclic stick, and you can see the forward, backward, side to side. All right, pitch axis, roll, hover capacity. I'd say all of the above, Delta. That was a really neat question, but I like the graphic even better. All right. And if you type in my name and spatial apperception, SIF guys, you're going to have to really be familiar with that as well. It's a bunch of pictures and kind of, I'll bring that link next week with me. Okay, Bernoulli's principle are some things you should be familiar with for the Army SIFT. You have to understand how it applies to aircraft. Let's see, just dumping information. Angle of attack, chord line, parasite drag. We talked about induced drag yesterday in the United States Navy OAR and aviation selection test battery. Profile drag is part of parasite drag. The flight, whether you're ASTB or SIFT, you should know how the basic instruments work. Your basic 6: airspeed indicator, attitude indicator, altimeter, turn coordinator, heading indicator, and vertical speed indicator. I close my eyes because I'm envisioning a cockpit. I'm not crazy. Like, why is he closing his eyes? The different rotor systems, main rotor systems, there's a rigid, semi-rigid, and fully articulated. And I mean, this is bare minimum stuff you guys should know. 4 forces of flight. Nobody's ever come to me with on a debrief with airspace questions. So, I mean, I've been preparing guys for this exam for a long time, and I've never heard somebody come back in the debrief and say, you know what, they kept asking me these questions about Class D airspace or Class G airspace. I just haven't heard of it in a debriefing ever. I'm not saying it's not in the test pool, so be very vaguely familiar with that stuff. All right. Okay. The last 5 minutes. And I think these are like all my other math guys. Yeah. So yeah, there's really not much we're gonna get done in 5 minutes. All right, do my little shout outs. DC, I see you. Matthew, I see you. Mike, see you. It's hard for me to see who is in on the Facebook part, but anybody that visited on Facebook on this channel, thank you very much for checking in. All right. Again, most people are not prepared for this exam. Please find a qualified tutor, because it's frustrating because I say this in my videos all the time, and a guy come, oh, I watch your videos. I saw all your videos, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I help you? Oh, well, I took the test, the SIFT test. You only get 2 times to take it. It's not like the aviation selection test battery. You only get 2 times for the SIFT. So when the person goes, yeah, man, I've been watching your videos for years, and I'm telling you guys, don't do this on your own. Find a qualified tutor, because if you just buy the books, you get the free books, and you don't get a desirable score, those books do not teach you test taking strategy. And any of my guys that work with me, they will tell you, I teach you test taking strategies. Sure, you can find the answer to everything, but you got to be efficient on this test. The clock will run out on you before you know it. And I keep saying this till I'm blue in the face, and and people are like, yeah, I watch all your videos, but you took the, I'm not going to say that. I'm not beating up on people. Just prepare properly. It's like if there's big rainstorm coming in, and I got to walk back outside to the garage, you know, and I come back wet, and I'm mad because I'm wet. Well, I didn't go outside. It was a rainstorm, a heavy rainstorm going outside, and I went out with no raincoat and no umbrella, and I'm mad because I'm wet. You know, it's like, but I'm not beating up on people. Just prepare properly, because most people are not prepared. So yeah, 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I will be back next week. I'll be here for you every week. Bring your Civ test prep books. Have questions ready. And you know what? You can cut and post questions on the page. That'd be beautiful. Instead of me having to sift through emails and stuff like that and everything. And then after that, I gotta see, okay, did I talk about this last week? Did I talk about that one last week? So, and which I don't mind. It's a labor of love. I don't mind. I just, do what I have to do. So guys, take care. Thanks for checking in. Please post problems on the post line if you're following me at stemwithkino.com. So then if I have like a lineup of questions, boom, I can just like rip through them. But when I have to look for them and search for them, it kind of just slows down the process. Even if you say, okay, well, did you do 27? Boom, just post it on the timeline. And I can just rip through them, and we can get more questions done in every session. I'm getting a little bit easier and better at this, but it took time, like for me to just juggle all this stuff in the screens and everything. So for my people, I will see you during your independent times with me or group sessions. And for anybody that is not connected with me or being trained by me yet, I encourage you to just kind of see where you are and see what you need to work on and stuff. And I'll be back next week, next Saturday at 2 o'clock. So I'll see you guys. I'm looking at both camps. I always do. I'm like, but yeah, I will see you guys next week. You guys be safe, and I will talk to you guys again soon. So I will see you later, Facebook, and I will see you later, YouTube. Goodbye.